Hello everyone and welcome to Bevins Bricks. I thought I would go ahead. I took this week off of work. And with that being said, I thought, you know what? I am going to go ahead and try and stream at least once, if not twice a day. And I thought I would try and do at least one during the beginning of the day, because I know a lot of people normally cannot catch me or catch live streams unless it's early in the day like this. So I thought I would give it a go and see if I even get anybody that watches. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start getting some work done on my electrical for the runway anyway. And hey, how you doing? Games Tricks Official, City Bricks, how you doing? Ninjago Nick, how you doing? I've showed a lot of people this video as far as how to do this, and I thought, you know what, why not try and do it live? And what I'm going to be doing, that camera's a little bit fuzzy, is I'm going to be taking, because I've actually found it's easier just to heat the insulation on the wires with a lighter, and then it comes off a lot easier. So let's start getting this set up and let's see if we can get it lit up. And hey, how you doing, Kip Hoffman? He says, I'm at work and I'll have you on in the background, and thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Supercat222, how you doing? Legends Builds, hello, hello. Brian LeBlanc, how you doing, my friend? Now, one of the first things I want to do, after I get some of this stuff out of my way anyway, is I want to try and get two pieces of wire kind of strung through here. So I'm trying to get that, and I'm going to be using the bare copper wire for that. So let's get one strand going here. And now what I'm going to do is just put it all the way at the end up here, if I can get it in place and out of my way. All this wire anyway. And I'm also going to be using, as I showed in that video, some 1x2 plates. Bear with me while I get this going. I hope everybody's having a good Monday. I know Mondays are usually not fun. And where did I put that little, I had a, I guess I'll use this. I'm trying to keep all this wire out of my way. There we go. So now that I have that one there, I'm going to take it and kind of pull it tight. And then I'm going to take and put one more plate right here, and that's going to be my connection point. And now that I have that, I'm just going to cut a little bit of that wire off. Now we're going to do our next run. So let's get this guy out of the way, and I will come back to the comments in just a second, because I got to get everything set up first. See if I can get all this wire out of my way. I have so much wire here because of all these lights. It's actually crazy how much wire is here. But it's all very fine wire, so there we go. Let me get this one knocked down. Fold it over, pull it tight. And then we can take this piece and then pop that there, pull it up just a little bit, cut it off. Now we got our home runs. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using this one as my red, this one as my black, and after everything's said and done, I will be connecting the power from this to that to see if we light it up. Let me get a few lights going first, and then we'll worry about getting the power on. Papa's Bricks, hey, how you doing? Scott's Box says, dang it, I am at work, Captain. Totally understand. Like I said, I'm just kind of doing a surprise one. I'm going to try and do this all week if I can, since I took the week off. And yes, I took the whole week off, Destro319. So I thought, why not try and stream every day while I'm off? There's not a lot of other things I can do around the house, but I can do this. So Mayor of Millbrook, how you doing, my friend? Supercat222 says, question, what is your opinion of the rumors of the base plates being discontinued? As far as I know, they are going to be discontinued. So yes, I have heard that rumor. That was kind of something, believe it or not, that's a rumor that's been going on for a while, ever since they came out with the new road plates. And I would say it's a pretty viable rumor. And man, these wires are not cooperating. There we go. I would say it's a pretty viable rumor, and again, because of the new road plates is why I say that, because I really do believe that they intend on getting rid of them, and that's kind of why they came out with that new road plate system, to kind of warm people up into when they disappear. But keep in mind, I mean, there's still a lot of off-brand companies that make base plates, so it's not really that big of a deal. And why Lego is discontinuing them altogether, I really don't know, but it is Lego, and it's obviously they're probably going to be selling something comparable maybe. My guess would be they're going to start making a lot more like 16 by 32 plates and such like that. So maybe that's their thought process, but time will tell. Hey, how you doing? Let's Brick. Destro319. Yes, I already answered that one. Games Tricks Official says, well, this is my first time. I like Monday, but people near my house aren't, of course, there. Oh, there was a fire in the flat. That's not good at all. Zachary St. Laurent, hey, how you doing? John Evans, how you doing, my friend? Wyatt Hall says, good afternoon, and good to see you, Wyatt Hall. And what did I say I was going to use for my positive again? Let's make this the positive. We'll make this the negative. So let's get some of these melted off. And like I said, to me, this is probably the quickest way to do it, is just take a lighter. Because the wire is so thin that if you try to pull it with your thumbnail, sometimes it actually damages the wire. And that is why I decided to go ahead and start stripping them this way, because it's less likely to damage the wire anyway. And I am trying to get a couple of these ready to go, and then I will try and put them all together and underneath the lead all at one time. Got a few more here. Well, this one's already stripped, so I'm good on that one. And we got another one. I'm going to see if I can't get a whole bunch of these all at one time underneath the wire, so that way I don't have to make a whole bunch of little connections. And I had two of these that are stripped, and I'm hoping these are not ones that I had stripped and accidentally tore up. So I'm going to end up probably plugging in this power supply rather quickly as a test after I get some of these twisted together. And all I'm going to be doing is twisting them together like you see right here. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to lay it right across the wire I have. Take a plate. Oh, if it'll stay there anyway. There we go. And put all those under that one. And now we're going to do the same thing on this side with the red. So let me get a bunch of these together now. Zachary says, watching me and doing calculus homework. That's always fun. I hated calc. Hopefully you're doing well at it though. But that was not a subject I cared for. Brick Worlds. Hey, how you doing, Brick World? Brick World says base plates are the only thing Lego is not doing in-house. Ah, now that I was not aware of, and that is a very likely reason, Brick World. I did not know that that was not an in-house item, so that does make sense. So technically, they're actually off-brand already anyway then if they're not done in-house, right? And I know I'm cheating because Brick World actually solders all his stuff. Hey, how you doing, John? I hope you're doing well, my friend. I thought I would get on while I was playing around with some of my lighting, since I took the week off and do some live streams during the week. And one more, and this one needs a stripping. And like I said, to me, that's like the quickest and easiest way to do it, is just heat it up. And the insulation comes right off. Twist a couple of those together now. And now let's put them on the other bus. Take a 1x2 plate, snap it in there like so. And now right now, if it all held together right, all these lights right here should light up. So now that we know that's the hot, let's go ahead and test it. I need to get this plugged in, so give me 1 second. I need power supply here. Let's turn this guy on to 5 volts. And close enough to 5 volts. Now let's really quickly just twist this wire together. And twist this guy together. And hopefully, if I did it right, we should have a bunch of lights that light up. And here we go. Let me get this undone. Hey, how you doing, Bevins? So good to see you. Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog. How you doing? Wyatt Hall says, I am in my game programming and design class right now, but watching you instead. Do not get in trouble. Zachary says math is one of his favorite subjects, so he doesn't mind it. If that's one of your favorite subjects, my thing would be is you should go into engineering or something like that, because that is a good way to do a lot of math. And hello to the Netherlands, Ed. Varen says sup. And how you doing, buddy? Anthony Amadio, hey, how you doing? Bartskin the Pro, hey, how you doing? Let me plug this in and look at that. We have one light that didn't quite turn out. So, and I had a feeling that that one might be bad. So I got to pull that one light out. But we do have a bunch of lights. And I don't really like, personally, how that one's kind of on the side. So I'm going to relocate that one too. And let's get that there. So let's pull this guy up and let's see if we can get this more on top and not so much on the side. Get up there. Nope, still not quite there. So like I said, I want it more in the center. There, that's better. Now let's take that back in. Now we can put that one back down. But I got to replace that LED. So let's get... I was afraid that was the one that was stripped already, and I was afraid it was probably going to be a bad one. Katja says, in Germany it is 8 p.m. Holy crap, it's late over there then. So actually this is a good time of day to be streaming for my UK audience anyway. And there we go. And actually I guess I should probably mount that first. So let's get this guy out of there. And actually, you know what? It's bad. Since it's a bad light, we're just gonna go and get rid of them. Just leave the wire right there. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. That's a really good trade too, Zachary. He says he's thinking about going into architecture. And I can see where that would be a very good field as well. Especially if it's something you enjoy. I mean, it's always best to try and find things you want to do for a living that you enjoy. That way, you don't get bored with it. Get in there. Come on. There we go. And because I get asked this quite frequently, the telescope piece. Believe it or not, I don't have to drill these. Lego, they already come pre-drilled. So with that being said, that is not something that you have to do. My vision stinks. And let's get you. So some of this is kind of a struggle for me staring at this. So bear with me. I think we got it that time. There we go. But like I said, that's a very good trade, getting into architecture, absolutely. And yes, I should be at work, but I'm playing hooky all week. As Lego Homes just said, shouldn't you be at work, Daryl? Let's Bricks as mini Germans here, and that's awesome. Like I said, it's great to be able to catch my UK audience. Oh, and Brickworld says the UK is 1 hour different from Germany. And yes, they do, Zachary. You're absolutely right. Building buildings out of Lego and drawing them does go together very well. I definitely agree with you on that, my friend. And now that I have that, I think I'm just going to cheat and put this one on by itself, since I already have the others hooked up. Even though I didn't want to do that many connections, why not? We have plenty of parts. And that one doesn't want to quite snap down all the way. It's because it's not in there. Get on there. There we go. Now we got that guy in there. So now we can put this back down. We can put this back down. And there, now we have, those are lit up. And that one's, I thought that one seemed like they're not pushing down all the way. There we go. Now we got to try and do all these guys, and then I'm going to jumper them over to this connection point over here as well. And thank you, Alfred Baker says, great t-shirt. I love anything that is old school, and that's what this is basically. It's old school. I loved the old Nintendo when I was a kid growing up. And this needs to come up. There we go. So now let's melt some of these. Trying to get them together so I know I can group them up. And I will be the first to admit this is somewhat of a pain in the butt doing all this. But I think it's going to make a really cool looking runway. Wild Style is the true hero, not Emmett. I definitely agree with you. Wild Style was the hero in the Lego movie. I thought I had, there it is. There we go, we got those three. So now we can make this connection. At least I'm hoping we can. Bear with me, because it is hard for me to see these tiny little wires. This is where I should definitely have some bifocals. And that'll go on the negative. Now we got to do the same thing to the hots. Hey DZ Studios, how you doing? Declan says don't try this at home. Yeah, some people's probably not a good idea to show them that I'm using a lighter to melt the insulation. Let's Bricks says, why don't you mark the red and black lines with the appropriate color? I already know this is all black and this is going to be all red, so I'm not really that worried about it because this is bare copper wire. And what it is I'm using bare copper wire because that way I can attach anything I want, anywhere I want. I guess I could actually buy 1x2s with red and black, and I just knocked that one loose, didn't I? I sure did. Let's get that back. There we go. But that would probably make more sense if I was using, but I have a ton, and I mean I have a ton of dark blue gray 1x2s. Just to show you. And that's why I'm using those as my connectors, because I have so many of them. And yeah, that did get dark fast, Kermit. Anyway, let's see. I need to do the reds now. So let me grab this red. This red. And this red. And what I will do is I will strip these two first. This is very, 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 very tedious. But if you want to save yourself some money, this is a great way to do it if you don't mind messing with all this tiny stuff. I will be the first to admit it is a kind of a pain in the butt though. Now we'll get this guy. Cool S says, hi Daryl, runway lights seem like a great idea. Happy to watch as always, and thank you. I appreciate that, and I hope you're doing good today. Cool S. Like I said, I'm hoping to do this early streaming like this a couple times this week if I can. For those that normally are not able to catch me live. And I'm going to try and do a couple live streams at night too. There's two of them. I need the third guy. Get these twisted together and hopefully these will all light up once I get them placed. And there we go. Now there should be, and there is, there's lights inside of these two little red guys, and it's probably really hard to see. Those two little red guys are actually called a VASI. They are a runway indicator light, or a, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the correct. Either way, they're a visual aid for airports and for the airplanes that are coming in for a landing. And that's what these are. So there's a little bit of light that's down inside of there. Then I got the threshold, the side lights. Now we got to do this side. So that's the next step, is to start hooking up and stripping all these guys up. I'm doing great. How are you, Dave? I'm shocked to see you here. Because I know you're actually at work, or working from home anyway. Aiden Smith, hey, how you doing? DZ Studios says Coco Melon is going to pass PewDiePie. I do not know who Coco Melon is. And that's great to hear, Declan, that you're doing good. Now let me use some insulated wire. Now this wire is a little bit thicker, And this is the wire I like to just take my fingernail and just strip it off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to light this guy up. So let's strip him back a little. And then we're going to light up this bundle up over here. And my lighter, I did that one a little too far. Let's get this guy. Nut them together. And just to hold it, we're just going to pop it down. Not that it has to be popped down, but it just keeps the wire from getting out of place is the only reason I'm really doing that. And I'm going to take this, cut it, strip the other end off, and then we are just going to take that and put another one of these as a connection point right here. Now we got to do the same thing with the red. Good evening to you, Dogma 501. I hope you're having a good day. Kermit the Frog says, spoiler alert, not really. In other news, the killer of the train station roof. Actually, I have the roof back on that now, believe it or not. I put that back on, it was a couple days ago, actually. But that is back on the building, is the roof of the train station. I figured until I actually get around to modifying it, because I do still think I'm going to modify that in some way, shape, or form. I'm just not quite certain how yet. But until I get around to actually modifying it, I thought, you know what, and the voltage on that's a little low. There we go. I thought until I get around to modifying it, I should at least put it back the way that it was. And put you right there. And put you back up. And now we got to cut this wire a little bit shorter. So we're going to cut him right about here. Strip a little bit of the insulation off. And I need another piece. And now we'll take that, lay it across here like so. And we have another light lit now. Now we just have to work on this little corner of lights. Zombie train station apocalypse is gone. Brickford City Fire, hey, how you doing? Brett's Builds, hello, hello. Brick Overload, hi, how you doing? Kermit the Frog, hello, hello. Legends Builds says Coco Melon is a channel that does kids songs. Okay, like I said, I guess that explains why I'm not familiar with it. So I get that totally. And I can see why anything that is kid related would get more popularity than anything else on YouTube. And this is why I say that. Most of YouTube is actually kind of driven by the kid market. And what I mean by that is generally if you are kind of, not that I was going to say kid friendly, but that's probably not a good way to put it. But if you are a kid show, I guess would be a good way to put it. And I just messed that one. I'm going to have to do something with that. But if you are a channel that is kind of kid directed, I guess would be a good way to put it. I can see where that would have more popularity than any other channel. And I say that because it is more kids that are watching YouTube than anything else out there, at least from my experience anyway. So the quickest way I would say to get popular on YouTube is to try and have material that is geared towards kids, and then that will definitely launch you. At least from my experience, that seems to be the case anyway. And there we go. put that other black wire? Let's say, because that one's just not wanting to stay lit. So I'm going to pull it on this. And there we go. That should keep it nice and lit now. Much better. Okay, we got that, we got these, I got that. I just need this corner here. So, good evening. How you doing, Arkawi? You're just a chatty Cathy, aren't you, Kermit? But that's not a bad idea to have a superhero out on the runway. I do agree with you. And let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. Should be 5, 4, 5. If I can get a hold of it. And there we go. Now we just got to burn the insulation off them all. Brett says, watching a Bevins Bricks stream while working. Yeah, don't get in trouble. Do not get caught. If you're at work, that would not be a good thing. I can't imagine the boss being happy about that. It's 2. Hold those. Get that one. I got 2 to go. And I know this is probably not the best way to strip wire, but it's how I'm doing it. There we go. Dave Morgan says, it looks like you have found a good balance between responding to chat and keeping track of what I'm building. I'm trying to get better at it anyway. At least I hope I'm getting better at it. I've learned from over time, I just have to let some of it go. That's all there is to it. But if you don't let some of it go, you'll never get anything done. Especially doing little stuff like this. And I will come back to the chat here in just a minute after I get all these together. And holy crap, John Evans. Dude, thank you so much. John Evans just donated $49.99. He says, can't wait to see the entire runway lit up. Always enjoy the videos. And thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that. That was awesome of you, my friend. I honestly did not expect very many of my regular viewers to be on today, to be perfectly honest. So I figured most people are probably working. Because I know just because I took the day off or the week off doesn't mean everybody could. But again, thank you so much, John. That was very, very, very awesome of you, my friend. Now, let's get this. It really doesn't have to be secured. I just secure these more for my own mental, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm going to cut this a little short. And then I'm going to take this, strip a little piece off the end of it, And I always fold it over just to make it a little bit thicker. And now I can take this and make another connection, which is what we're going to do right now for all these black wires. And now I got to do the same thing to the reds, and then hopefully everything will be 100% lit up, and then I'll turn the lights off so you guys can kind of see it a little better. Hey Kyle, how you doing, my friend? Legend Build says, did anyone watch the new trailer for Shang-Chi? I'm not sure what that is, so I'm going to say no. Hey, how you doing, Thomas? Wyatt Hall says, honestly, this time works better for me, at least better for being in the class in the chat and not just watching, and that's awesome. And Kyle, thank you so much. Kyle Dunbar just donated $5 and says, looking good. Can't wait to see it all lit up and in place. And thank you again so much, Kyle. That was awesome of you, my friend. Kyle just donated $5. Declan says his school's closed today, but he has an essay to do. Well, can't do an essay if you're watching me. Just saying. John Evans says, I seem to miss a lot of your live streams lately, but today was actually able to get on, and that's awesome, buddy, and I appreciate it again. I haven't honestly streamed much in the last week and a half. This is like the second stream I've done in the last week and a half, which you know why, so I just have not been very well lately. But I'm trying to play a little bit of catch up now, is what I'm actually doing. And do I got them all? I got them all. So now let's start stripping these guys. Paul S. says, online college is nice because I don't have to drive anywhere. And yes, that actually would save you money. You don't have to worry about having car insurance or going to class or spending money on gas. So I can definitely see where online college is definitely more beneficial. I think it's really neat that they offer that, because I don't care what college you go to. I'm pretty sure they all do offer some type of online classes now. I know my son even does his stuff online, and I think that's so absolutely cool that schools allow that, because it saves the students a lot. And then you don't have to worry about rushing the class as long as you're tuned in and online when the class starts. You're basically golden, is kind of what I understand. But that was not something that was available when I was a kid, was online schooling. So you guys nowadays have it made, in my opinion. So like I said, that was not an option when I was growing up. It was either you went to school or you didn't. There was no stay home doing it online for the computer. But keep in mind, when I was growing up, they didn't have all the awesome technology that is available today. We had basic computers, but not what you guys have today. They've really come a long way with everything that they can do with computers now. It's really quite amazing. And get over there. There we go. Now I just got to make a quick jumper. So I think I have these all tightened together. So let's get a little jumper going. No problem, Kyle. He says, can't stay, but I'll see you in Discord. And absolutely, my friend. I will talk to you later, buddy. Kermit the Frog, take care. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kermit. He says his best friend's grandpa died from COVID. That is horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences. Declan says, I can if I'm listening. That's definitely one way to do it. Let me get this snapped down in place. Now this should be our last connection in this section, and I just pulled the wire off. This section will be done. If I can get it back connected anyway. Which, mind you, this is a temporary hookup right here anyway. Let me get that up there so it's not pulling on it. Now we got to take this guy, and he's going to go right here. So let's cut him short. Now let's strip the end of the wire. Take it, fold it over. Pinch it a little bit so it's a little fatter. Take one of our blocks, and there we have it, guys. Another section of runway that is illuminated. Now, oh crap, no it isn't. I still got to do the center line lights. I forgot all about those. I got this piece I got to do, because I got these 3 lights that got to get lit up as well. So let me make that up now, and then we can put this back together. What I can do though, let me get some of that out of the way. I can put this piece back on. I need to get that out of there. Now let me melt some of this wire off. So right now, just on this one little board, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 lights just on this board. So that is a slew of lights for everything for it to light up. And what I'm hoping is, after I get this one and one other one done, what I'm hoping to do is get that out of the way. Take these over to the table and then try and light up part of the runway as a whole, so that way everybody can see them all together and lit up. And then I will try and make a video on how they look all illuminated together. And I will come back to the comments here momentarily. I am trying to get these guys all lined up. There we go. Now I got to make my little jumper. So let's get another one of these. Strip a little wire off. Take it and connect it up. That's the only downside to all the wiring stuff, is, as you can tell, it's quite time consuming, but the end results are definitely worth it in my opinion. Now I almost think I might be able to, you know what, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Let's just go ahead and make 2 connection points, just so that way we know we're good. There's one. I am doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing, Tom? King of Pain says, yay, you got to catch a stream. Paul S says, computers, especially 3D printers, are definitely the reason I think Lego has been able to make so many new pieces over the last few years. Like all the new minifig heads. Yes, I definitely agree with you on that, Paul. Absolutely. Technology has really helped them in a ton of ways. Tom says, hi, Daryl. How are you doing, my friend? Playing with fire? Yes, always. Got to play with a little fire now and then. And thank you, because he goes on to also say he loves the t-shirt. And like I said, I love anything old school, so that is what this is about. And I need to strip, so I got that set. I need to get all these reds stripped. So let's get one. Let's get 2. So we got 3 of these in total that we got to strip. What I need is like a little Bunsen burner that I can just hold the wires over. This poor lighter is going to be tired very quickly. But like I said, with this tiny wire that I have here, to me anyway, this is the easiest way to strip it. Because I damage it more than I do anything when I try to strip it with a stripper. And you can actually even melt the wire if you hold the flame on it too long. So you really do have to be careful that you're not overheating it. Now I need this other jumper. And I know I'm not being super talkative. It's hard to be talkative when you're doing stuff like this. I will come back to the comments momentarily. There we go. Now let's just make another little short jumper piece. We'll just cut it right there. Strip the end. Fold it in half. Gives us a connection point. Now, this is where it's going to get a little fun. Does it smell nice when you melt the wires? I can't smell anything. I haven't been able to smell anything in about a week now. I can't taste anything. So normally though, there is a little bit of an odd odor when you're melting stuff, but this stuff is so small, you really don't smell it. And if I did this right now, and which one was red? This is the red one. So now if I did this right, these three lights should light up. So let's get this guy in. Now let's take this guy, and this should light up. There we go. There's our three center lines. Trying to keep my wires separated. Now I need to get this laid down if I can. Just like so. This thing is kind of a snug fit. And I must have put, there's something in my way right here. Let's pop this back up. And I see exactly what it is. There we go. Now I should be able to get it back down in there. If I don't pinch all these wires anyway. So this is a snug fit. There we go. Now we can take this piece, stick it back on there like that, and then I'm missing one more for right here, and there it is. I'm knocking this connection right here, and there we go. That is another section of runway that is all lit up. Let me turn the lights off so you guys can kind of see it. And this particular light is because it's an in-ground pavement light. Let's see how this, does that help at all? Let me cut a couple more off. Hopefully that shows up now. Anyway, what you can see here is this is the threshold, which is your red lights. This is the beginning of the runway, so you have the yellow. You have red on the center line. And now you can even see down inside of here, these are called VASIs. And if you really look carefully, and I can't pull it off the board to show you, but they are red and white inside. And it's because with a VASI, it's red over white, you are all right. White over red, you're dead. And that's why they are red over white. And hey, how you doing, Janet? Good morning to you as well. yes, I'm definitely feeling better, and thank you so much for the plug there. Easy Craftsman says it's a beaut, Clark. Nathan says like button was smashed as soon as I saw the stream. Dave Morgan says very cool. Declan says wow, pretty. Brian LeBlanc says that's looking amazing, and thank you so much, Brian. Again, I do have to do, and I'm trying to get it a little bit better in here. There is some modifications I have to do, but I'm really happy with how this is looking, because to me, this is really going to make my airport just look, in my opinion, absolutely amazing. Having a runway that is actually fully illuminated, I'm very tickled by it. And Nathan says nice. Thank you so much. To me, it almost looks better in the second camera. Let me open that camera up a little bit more. Let's see. Not that one. That one. So we can get a better, so everybody can see it a little bit better. At least I think that seems to be a little better anyway. And greetings to you, Fox. And trying to, there we go. I guess you can kind of see that those are lit up inside of there, but what I was going to try and do is turn this, but the problem is I don't have this soldered, so that might pull apart. What I was going to try and do though is turn this without knocking the connection apart. And there, now you can see, because that was the important thing to me, is with this light and this light is, as you can see inside of there now, at least I'm hoping you can see it, is that it's red over white, and that is the important thing with the Vassies, is red has to be over white. That lets the airplanes know that when they're coming in for a landing that they're at the correct altitude for their approach onto the runway. So that was another very important feature, but really happy. Our Kiwi Production says, man, Oli Suttonin says, so cool, and thank you so much. Let me go get some of my lights turned back on because it is very dark in here right now for me. Let me move this back out, and then we can work on some more goodies. I'm going to leave that up in the corner right there and lock that back. Okay, let me go get my lights back on so we can see what we're doing. And again, like I had told everybody when I first started working on this, this is actually a very cheap method to go. Keep in mind, if you were to have to buy a kit to wire all this together like I have wired right now, you're looking at least $3 a light. I'm, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 17 lights, so I am 3 lights short of having 20 lights here. So let's just round it off. Because the way I'm doing it, it's only costing me 50 cents a light. Plus this wire, I believe, I'm trying to remember, it was like $12 or $15. It wasn't that expensive. But this whole board, to light it up like I just did, we'll say I'm going to go high. And this is probably about $15 to do what I just did with this board. Where if you were to have to buy various lighting kits from various companies, typically you're looking at least $3 to $5 per light for every little piece that I'm putting on here. And let's go low and let's go down to 3. You're looking at $60 just if you were to buy a pre-made lighting kit to light up this piece like I just did. So with doing it the way that I'm doing it, like I said, I'm going high and saying 15. Where if you were buying the pre-made lighting kits, $60, I would rather pay the 15 and have the little bit of a hassle of doing what I did, as opposed to paying the 60 to have the freeness of the pre-wiring. Mind you, the pre-wiring is nice, but oh my God, you're really going to pay a lot of money if you want to do the pre-wiring. So this is definitely the way to go, guys, if you want to do lighting. And I am going to be doing this in a lot of different things. Right now, I'm mainly just focused on my runways. I did buy a couple products from Bricks Max. I did buy some products from Lighttailing, and I also bought some products from Bevins Bricks. And I am going to be doing videos on those as well. So you can expect to see a bunch of different review videos, a bunch of different product videos, and things like that coming along the pipe. But I personally, so far, I'm very happy with what I've come up with for my particular little cinch here. Mind you, I'll be the first to admit, underneath this, it's messy. But that's why I do mills, because I knew I was going to be trying to do lighting, and the mills plate hides all that mess. And the only thing that I have now is I'm going to make a more permanent connection right here for the wires to come down underneath the table so I can hook them together. But other than that, this is how it's going to stay. It's plug and play, snap them together, and away you go. Bricksonville, how are you doing, my friend? He says, great to see you starting with lighting up your city. And yes, because your city is amazing itself, my friend, with the lights. And I have to say, now that I've dabbled in the lights, I am definitely hooked, and that's why I'm playing with it a lot now. Our Kiwi Productions says, man, so nice, and thank you. I really appreciate that. John Evans says, man, that looks amazing. Very well done. Sadly, I've got to go, but I have a good live stream, and we'll see you in Discord. And take care, John. We will see you later, my friend. King of Pain says, yes, always easier to manually do it, and you can customize. Absolutely. Declan says, got to prepare for something tonight. Have to go. Take care, Declan. Bricksonville says, the runway looks awesome so far. And thank you so much, Bricksonville. I really appreciate that, because you are like the guru when it comes to lighting. And ever since I had originally seen your city, I've always wanted to do lighting, and that's why I'm going to start dabbling in it now. The thing is, for me, is because a lot of my buildings are just so huge, I can see that it's going to get very expensive very quick no matter what I do. But like I said, I'm personally loving it myself, and I want to, and again, I'm making my own system, because I know, like what you do, you're using a lot of those kits and whatnot, and holy crap, that stuff gets expensive fast. No, it's not over at all, Mike. I'm just prepping to pull this apart and make it more permanent. Just to show you real quickly, though, if you wanted to see it one more time. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm just going to be hooking up this wire to have two leads that'll hang down below my table. So I'm getting this prepped and ready for this to be set on the table, and then I got to go grab another plate, and I'm going to start working on that one next. But like I said, just wanted to show you one last time that this is lit up. It does work. Let me pull that back off now. Let me put these last two wires on. Yes, I do plan on trying to do some work on the Avengers Tower. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it tonight. That needs to come off. That needs to come off. But I will be doing a live stream on that probably later on tonight as well. I might even, trying to look at it, I'll probably just work on the top of the roof tonight. I actually have, because I didn't stream for so long, I got way behind on a lot of different videos, and a lot of different videos that I need to make, and that needs to bend up and over. There we go. With that being said, though, what I was going to say is I'm hoping to try and make one more video to post, because I just posted the Convention Center number 32 entry, mock entry, and I'm going to be posting another mock entry, hopefully here in a couple of hours before I go live later on tonight. But that is kind of my goal right now. Mike is asking, how am I going to light up the Avengers Tower? I'm not sure. I'm debating on using the blinky lights that I just bought, or blinky brick lights that I just bought, because they look really cool. And I might, maybe I'll, you know what, maybe tonight we will work on doing some lighting in the Avengers Tower. Mind you, I'm not totally certain what I'm doing everywhere inside there yet. So that build is kind of, I guess it's going to be kind of a work in progress, because I don't even have all the floors in it yet. And now that I have that there, this is my positive. Let me pull this, because this is what I'm doing to mark my, if I could keep it, there we go. What I'm doing is to mark my positives and negatives, because I know this is my positive And once I drop it to the bottom of the table, I won't be able to tell. All I'm doing is I'm tying a small knot in the wire. So I know that every piece of wire that has a knot in it is my positive, and then the ones without the knot are my negative. But let me get 2 more plates to put right here for my connection point. And then I'm going to put this piece on, and then I'm going to go grab another section, and we'll get to working on that. So now that is my finished connection point. There you go. Just to show you that it should still light up and work, I'll just strip a little bit off of here. Strip a little bit off of this one before I go get my next plate. And that should be my negative and my positive. There's my negative. Bada boom, bada bing. There's my positive. If I can get it to hook up correctly. And it is not wanting to work. That's got me a little concerned. Oh, I don't have it plugged in. No wonder. I guess that would help, wouldn't it? There we go. So say, something's not right. Just doing one more quick check before I take it away. So there's my positive. There we go. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I did my connection correctly. So let's pull this off. Let me take this one over to the table, and then I can bring another one over here. TCR Dank says, I finally got to watch a stream while it's being streamed, and I'm glad you're here, my friend. Brick Sergeant, hello, hello. Brick City Fires says, I've been doing a lot of fun programming, soldering, setting up LED systems for emergency vehicles, and that sounds like a lot of fun. He said it's definitely a lot cheaper, but a bit more of a hassle. It is a bit more of a hassle. I'll be the first to admit it. This is kind of time consuming, but it saves a ton of money. And like Brickford said, TZR, welcome to the party, my friend. Mike McDonald says, so the minifigs will soon have an electric bill to pay. Yes, it's gonna be a small bill at first, but they are definitely gonna have a like you said, an electric bill to pay. But let me get, man, it sounds like it's storming bad outside. Let me set this up to the side, and let me take this over there, and let me bring another plate over. Give me just 1 minute, guys. Fortunately, a lot of these do not have as many lights as the rest of them, and I need some clear bricks here. They're that much work, and thankfully anyway, because like the last one had 17 LEDs I had to put into it, this one only has 6. So like a lot of these, actually it will go a lot quicker than what like that last one did. But the first thing we got to do is we got to take some of this stuff up. I want to pop these up because I got to take, and a couple of these I'm going to have to change. Let's see. First things first, let's get the wire going to this guy. So let's take him, and I know I want him to be right there, so let's just put him there for a minute. Let's take an LED. Mike says I'll get, oh, the internet must have been acting a fool. Hopefully it's not going to continue. Joe, Lego Joe, hey, how you doing? Felix says your streams are awesome to distract about them possibly coming back with it, so on and so forth. But I've never seen any official news, and I always think it's probably just rumor anytime you do hear anything about it. But that would be something that I would love for them to bring back, is the old monorail. And yeah, like I said, it's because I can hear it trying to thunder and stuff outside. I live in Michigan, for those of you that do not know, and we have some crazy weather. My understanding is it's supposed to storm today, thunderstorms, rain, all that good stuff. And then it's supposed to be get very cold tonight, be cold tomorrow, and then turn into a blizzard for Wednesday. So you gotta love Michigan. It's a crazy state. That's all I can say. Anyway, let's get this guy off of here, and I know he's got to go here. And say I don't see any more lag though, so hopefully that was just a fluke experience. Let's put that guy there. I can put that piece back there. And now we got a fish. I need to get a couple pieces for that first though. And I would rather these be used as 4x4s instead of these really big ones. So I'm going to take that off and put 4x4s down instead. And that goes on this. So let's leave that off for just a minute. Let's take our light, our LED, if I can get it there. There we go. Let's fish it through the telescope if we can. Get in there. There we go. And now, actually I did that wrong because I want to put, let me put this on here first. And then I will come back to the comments. So let's get that guy. So I'm trying to, what I try to do is get the light to be right in the center on top. And the reason that I try to do that is because that way it will be more evenly illuminated. I don't always succeed, but I do try my best because I think it gives you a better finished look. And get in there. And this hole that goes through here is extremely tiny. There we go. So it does take a minute sometimes to get that fished through there like so. Now we can put that guy there. We can pop this out. We can take our wire, get it down like so, pop them in, and we got our wire hooked to our light. So we're good to go on those two. Now we got to do this center row of lights, which is what these guys are about. And these are all going to be solid white. Typical Tyler, hey, how you doing? I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Alexander says I'm in Poland, and hello to Poland, my friend. Brickford City Fire says 58 is pretty nice. 58 for temperature. Oh, because Mike said it was 58 where he's at. So yes, 58 is a very nice temperature. I totally agree. Right now, I want to say it's about the same temperature here, but like I said, it's supposed to change to rain. Brickford City Fire says we had snow over in New Hampshire just a few days ago, and I understand your weather perfectly well. I bet you do if you're in New Hampshire. And yes, you do gotta love Mother Nature. You're absolutely right, Mike. Alexander says I'm 10, and hi to you. Hello to you, Alexander. Typical Tyler, I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking, my friend. Brick City Fire says, what is your weather like? It's well, it's basically, it's like New Hampshire in a nutshell. It's not that great. Lego Mike says, hey all, looking good, and thank you. How you doing, Lego Mike? Thank you so much for signing in. TZR says, me and the wife are watching your videos almost every time you put one out. We recently got back into Lego, and you are one of the best, most informative YouTube personalities out there. And thank you so much, DZR. I really do appreciate that. That is an awesome compliment, and thank you so much for the support, my friend. Lego Joe says, when the grate got stepped on, it let out a little whine. I'm not sure what that means. DZR says, P.S. I would love to see you take on a full-scale castle mock. I had built one of those, God, it was quite a few years ago, actually. What it was is I built a castle for my daughter. It was on, I think, I didn't go crazy with it. I just had a small mountain. I had the castle. Then I had a small dock for a boat to be able to come up to it. But that was back when I built that. That was back into, I was building stuff more for my kids than I was doing anything. And my daughter was big into Disney princesses and stuff at that point in time. And with that being said, my daughter wanted to have a castle for her Disney princesses. So I built a rather large Disney castle. A rather large. When I say Disney castle, I don't mean it was an actual Disney castle. I just mean it was a castle. But that was the only time that I've really done that. It's been a long time since I've done that, though. That was probably about 7 years ago. And DZR's, I already read that. Okay, let me get a few more parts. Boy, the wind is howling out there. I need to get some 1x1s. Give me 1 second. Because what I like to do is on the back side, to hold the light into position, I like to take some 1x1 bricks and just kind of pop it in there. And then what I will do is I will squish it down with the trans piece, and I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. So what I do is I take that, and then now that I have it, I have just a little extra that sticks out. So what I do is I get it kind of centered, and then I just take my clear piece and pop it over it. So now I have one light in the center, and I need another bag of lights. I hope these should be them. Mike says he loves a good storm, gives a good excuse for a nice cheesy horror movie. Yeah, I can agree with that. That is a good time to watch a good cheesy horror movie. You're absolutely right. Lego Mike says, feeling sick today, off work, doing little builds. And I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling well, but at least you're off work, so that's the good thing. But that's basically the same thing with me. I haven't felt well, and I decided I was taking this entire week off to kind of get caught up on a few things, just kind of relax, mess around with my YouTube, mess around with some of my builds. It's supposed to be a real cruddy week for weather anyway. And I thought, you know what, why not just sit at home and relax and enjoy my Lego kingdom, if you will. And that is what I'm doing. But I hope you get to feeling better, Mike. Brick City Fire says it hasn't seen a good thunderstorm in years. We get them here constantly. So if you want to see a good storm, all you got to do is come to Michigan and you will see a good storm. Mike said, yeah, well, I was sick as a dog all week last week, so I even if I wanted to stream, I did not feel well at all. And that's because I didn't stream, I didn't post videos, I didn't do nothing. I was in bed pretty much all week last week, so that's why I'm trying to kind of play catch up this week, because I did not do anything last week, literally, and I'm trying to change that this week by kind of doubling up a little bit if I can. Which my wife still does not feel well either, so here in about another 20 minutes or so, I'm going to have to go check and make sure that everything's going well in the house. And did I leave too much? No, that should be okay. Let's get, there we go. So there, now we got our wire for our center line. Now the first thing I'm going to do, like I showed before, is I'm going to take 2 pieces of wire and I'm going to put my bus down the center. No, actually I didn't really talk about it much, but I had COVID is why I was off all week last week. So no, it wasn't a simple cold. I wish it was. I have to say that was miserable though. I am definitely glad that is over. 1, 2, and let's start with that right there. And let's bring this all the way down. Let's put one here, and we'll put one more right there. Let's cut this guy short. Now let's start our second wire. And let's get him going. So we got to get our little buses set up and running through here real quick. I call it a bus. It's not really a bus, but we'll bring him down here. And we will put one more connection here and one more here. Bring him up, cut him. And now we have our 2 lines going through here for our bus work, is like I call it. No, it's all good. Like I said, we got over it. It's a miserable cold though. I will tell you that. Varen says, if there is 1 or 5 reasons why you hate Lego, what would it be? Me, it is that some of the new Lego sets and some of the themes and what they are doing business-wise. And that's awesome, Mike. I'm glad to hear you got your first vaccination shot. My biggest complaint with Lego, Varen, to touch on your question really quick, my biggest complaint here lately is the fact that it seems to be over-releasing sets. And what I mean by that is they seem to be in such a hurry to take advantage of the market, because right now the markets are kind of high for Lego because a lot of people are stuck at home and don't have anything else to do, and they've decided to get into the Lego hobby now. That I think that they're trying to capitalize on that, and I can't say that I blame them. But they're coming out with so many huge, expensive sets here lately that for anybody, even the average collector, even the best collectors, you really can't keep up. You can't buy them all anymore. And I think it's gotten a little out of hand. But the advantage to that, though, is it seems like they've dumbed down, and what I mean by that is a couple of their themes, prime example, city themes. That used to be a really good series of Lego sets that I would buy for inspiration, for being able to take and buy multiples of to get parts and things of that nature. And with the dumbing down of it, and what I mean by that is that they're very simple builds, I've lost interest in some of the themes that I used to actually find kind of interesting. So I mean, I guess it's kind of a trade-off, but at the same time, a lot of these really expensive sets that they're selling, what sucks, in my opinion anyway, is most of these sets are so huge and so expensive. They are sets that I don't really want to take to modify so much, because when you're buying a $300 and $400 set and putting it together, the thought of just ripping it apart and using it for pieces, just I can't do it. So that would be kind of my complaint with Lego, though. They're just, to me, it seems like they're releasing a little bit too much too fast. Varens has finally finished with school. Yes, that was why I was off for the last week and didn't have any videos or anything, Varen. So that is the reason why I was missing in action there for a while. Kevin says, I got both. I'm assuming you mean that you got both your shots. Brick Sargent, hey, how you doing, my friend? He says, happy you got through that, but sorry every time I hear someone's getting it. Yeah, it was miserable. Like I said, it went through my whole house. My wife and my youngest, they're over the worst of it, don't get me wrong, but they still are having some symptoms. I'm having symptoms still. What I mean by it is it's more of the long-term effects. I have no taste. I have no smell. It's really weird. It's because it's like I love Pepsi and I can't taste it. I feel like I'm drinking water. So that's a weird side effect of it. I still have some congestion, both head and chest, but I still feel a lot better than I did. And that's another reason why I just said heck with it and took this week off. It was just, it's kind of like a stay home, relax, kind of get back into the norm of things, so to speak. Because I was bedridden for basically a week straight because it was miserable. Sup, Disco Chicken Nugget, how you doing, my friend? Varen says, Sup, Disco. Kevin says, yes, that is right. And, oh, as far, yes. Mike says, how many Millennium Falcons do you need in Lego anyways? I agree with you. Because I know, and a lot of people think I'm nuts, Mike, but I don't have, nor do I really want because a lot of people love that Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. And it is a cool looking set, don't get me wrong. I think it's a very cool looking set. But, me personally, it's not a set I'm going to add to my collection. It's just not something I'm that interested in. So, that is one of those things that it's fine, they can keep releasing them, I don't want it. I have what it's called the Legacy Falcon. It's a very large Millennium Falcon. It was made by Hasbro. It does lights and sounds, and the entire inside of it is fully detailed. The cockpit is even detailed, and there's lights inside the cockpit. And I mean, to me, that is the ultimate Millennium Falcon to have, is that Legacy Falcon. And that's why I will probably never buy that $800 Millennium Falcon. That Falcon is a very cool Lego set. Don't get me wrong. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But it just doesn't have any real appeal to me anyway. But like you said, I mean, but there are people that they want to have it. So I mean, good for it and go for it. But that is the benefit of some of those really expensive sets. I don't want the big Millennium Falcon. I don't want that piano. I don't want, and mind you, I love the old Nintendo Entertainment System, but I didn't buy that set either. It's just, to me, if I'm going to spend that kind of money on an NES, I want to have an actual NES. I don't want a Lego version of it. So to me, that's where I kind of cut some of my expenses as far as the Lego field goes, is by cutting out a lot of the more frivolous type sets like that. I focus more on, I'm a huge Harry Potter nut, so I buy pretty much anything and everything that's Harry Potter, which, as I'm sure you know, they're about to come out with a ton of Harry Potter sets. Very, very cool. So I mainly focus on stuff like that. I'm hit and miss as far as when I purchase stuff for like Marvel. I always buy all the modular buildings. Typically, I buy those to modify them. I used to buy a lot of the city sets. I'm kind of leaning back from that now. I do like a lot of the Friends stuff, because Friends is a great inspiration. When you look at a lot of those sets anyway, there's a lot of really cool parts, a lot of really cool colors. And a lot of those sets are really interesting looking and are very easily modified into some sort of other modular building. So I've actually been buying more Friends stuff lately than I have anything. But another really good theme that I do like is Star Wars. But again, it's like you were saying, how many do you need? So Star Wars is kind of one of those hit and miss categories where I will buy something because of a certain special minifig or because of a new part or something like that. Whereas when I first got into Lego, because I've been into Lego for over 20 years, and when they first started coming out with stuff like Star Wars and things of that nature, I would buy anything that they came out with. Where now, it's like you said, how many Millennium Falcons, how many X-Wings, how many Y-Wings do you possibly need? And now I'm more really picky on what I buy. The Mos Eisley Cantina, that was a must-have. I bought that. But as far as a lot of the other sets, it's kind of like, I'll pass on them. Trying to catch up on a few of the comments because I was kind of rambling there. Legend Build says, this is a good year for Marvel fans. We're getting a whole bunch of sets this summer, and yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And who doesn't love Marvel? I mean, well, you can see right over here to the side, I have my Marvel Avengers Tower. And what did I do? Did I shut off a camera? I must have shut off a camera. That or the camera, I must have unplugged it by accident. And because that camera is not working at all. So I apologize. I lost a camera, guys. For some reason, that one's not wanting to kick in. And done. And I do not know why. There we go. I got it. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about now. But yes, there was a whole bunch of really good stuff. Oh, that was what I was doing. I was going to say yes, because right there is my Avengers tower that I'm still working on. It's a constant work in progress, but we are getting there. And that's something I'm going to be working on later on tonight. Nathan says, I hope LEGO releases some good Legends of Zelda. I wasn't a fan of the Mario sets. I agree. I'm not a fan. I agree with you. I haven't bought any of the Mario stuff. Perfectly honest, I don't think I would buy any of even like the Zelda sets or anything. The problem that I see with a lot of that stuff is those pieces are very unique. And what I mean by that is there's really not a lot of good uses for like a Mario head. I mean, it's a big Mario head. And I don't see any other really good uses for it. So that's one of those things I'm personally not interested in, but I can see why some people would be. It doesn't work for me. And Paul W., how are you doing, my friend? He says, well, this is a new live stream Monday afternoon. And yes, it is. Like I said, I thought I would, I was talking to a lot of people earlier. You missed it. The first half of the stream, I already did one whole base. I've got this one and 2 more to go, and then I should have the runway actually fully illuminated is what I'm kind of trying to work on. Amanda, hey, how you doing? Yes, my Avengers Tower. That's I'm going to be working on that later on tonight. AMA POV says, very happy to catch another live stream, and thank you so much for signing in. Mike talking to Paul. Nathan says, I hope LEGO will release a good... Oh, I already read that. Okay, so I'm actually caught up, so I'm doing good. Anyway, now that I'm caught up, let me get some of this stuff smelted. I was going to say soldered, but I'm not soldering it. I just melt the insulation off a little. And I actually burnt that a little too long. There we go. On accident. And I need this one. Trying to get the insulation off. And do I want to do... I don't know. No, we'll just do 2. Get back here. And get on here. And yes, don't play with fire at home. Before anybody says it. No, I don't have any table extensions yet. I personally, I can't bring myself to pay what they want for lumber. I'm sorry, lumber is outrageous. It's just, and it keeps going up. But that is my problem with doing table extensions. I can't bring myself to pay what they're wanting for lumber. Lumber is insane. And there's really no good reason for it. They're claiming it's because of the supply and demand, that we're having a big build boom, so on and so forth. And I call BS. I think it's just they're trying to gouge the market right now, and people are paying for it. I know they did say something about right now, because of the cost of lumber, the average house now costs $24,000 more to build. And that I can totally believe, because lumber is just freaking nuts. But that's why I haven't done my table extension. Like I said, I can't bring myself to pay over $7 for a 2x4. To me, that's just absolutely nuts. And I've got so many projects anyway, I just figure, why bother? I got plenty of stuff to keep me busy until I can do the table extension. And there we go. That's that one. So I will get to it at some point. I just don't know when. And what do I want to do with this? Let's see. This one's going to need a jumper. So let's make a jumper for this guy. Here by me, Varen, and it was only $6.80 a couple weeks ago, but just a standard 2x4 right now is $7.20. And like I said, me personally, call me nuts, but I can't pay that for a 2x4. That's highway robbery. There is no reason in the world a 2x4 should cost $7.20. That's just absolutely absurd in my opinion. And how they can try and justify that, I call BS, but it is what it is, unfortunately. AMA POV says, same, my question, the price of everything, but we'll pay for that. Yeah, I do pay for a lot of Lego. And hello, Samuel, how are you? Andrew, hello, how are you? And hello to the UK, my friend. AMA says this is the perfect time of day for the UK, and that's good to hear. I've actually been going for an hour and a half, though, so I'm probably not going to be on a whole lot longer. I just wanted to try and at least finish this before I quit for the day. But that was part of my intention, was to try and get on. And man, that comp popped off. Because I do know there are a lot of people like UK, Germany, Australia, places like that normally cannot catch my streams. And I thought, since I am off this week, I am going to do some live streams during the day for people that normally cannot catch them. I thought that should be some fun. 1, 2, give me that. I thought, what better thing to do than to work on some wiring, because I'm trying to get a bunch of different wiring done. I'm doing good, Samuel. Thank you so much for asking. And hello, Andrew Moppet. I don't know if I said hello to you yet already or not, so I wanted to make sure I caught you again. And let's get that twisted. Let's grab one of these guys. And that gives me my jumper. So now I got 2 jumpers made for those wires. So now those can get laid under here. Now I have the need for speed. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use these. Yeah, let's put this back over here for a minute. Let's get those out of the way. Let's take this one. This is my red. Let's take this one. Let's melt these 2 guys. Get the insulation off of them. That's awesome. Legend Builds says I was able to get a $100 set for $15. It just doesn't have the minifigs. Hey, that's still a smoking deal for a Lego set. I don't care if it doesn't, because a lot of the times I'm not buying the sets for the minifigs anyway, and I buy a lot of multiple sets. So to me, who cares if you don't get the minifigs, unless it's got some super unique one. To me, that's a smoking deal, though. At least it sounds like a smoking deal to me. And come here. Get you there. Oh, I feel like I'm going blind staring at all this tiny little wire. Get all that twisted. Now let's get another plate. Let's snap that one in place. And now let's take this, melt that one off. this one. Take these guys, twist them together. Oops. And there we go. And we'll snap this down on the other side, like so. If I can get it to stay there. There we go. So now I got this dude and this dude to go. So let's get him over here, if I can. And then I need to strip these. So we got a red. And we're going to put that to this red guy. Give me one moment. And then we're going to hook that to the bus right here. And then we have one more wire and we should be all lit up. And I guess what I should probably do is put my power to it, but I'm going to have faith and say that I got it right the first time. Paul W. says, I love the Ulysses space probe. And say that does look like a really cool set. AMA says, would you ever consider doing YouTube full time? Absolutely. But for a channel that's my size, I don't see how it's possible. You just do not make that much money at it. And I know a lot of people think that you probably do make a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. I have 2 channels, so the money that I do make monthly is okay, don't get me wrong. But it's not enough to quit my day job. I would need a lot more money for me to quit my day job. And why? But I can see where if you're in the, at least based upon the number of views I get, I try to look at that in the aspect of, because there is kind of a correlation between how many views you get and how many subscribers you have. And with the view number that I get currently, with the number of subscribers that I have, I don't see being able to quit and doing YouTube full time until you're probably close to around 150 to 200,000 subscribers. That's a guess, mind you, and I'm a long way off from that. And even then, it all depends on, again, the number of views and such that you get. But I see people that quit all the time, and I often wonder, what did they do for a living before they quit their job? I'm an electrician by trade, and I manage the Detroit Metropolitan and Ypsilanti airports. Electrical departments, anyway. And with that being said, I make what I consider to be a very good living. And I just don't see YouTube being able to supplement that without me having a very huge following of people. Again, would I do it? Absolutely, but I would need a much bigger following of people. And I don't know, because with Lego, it's kind of fickle as far as the views and such that people get. And what I mean by it's kind of fickle is you can go for a while and you can post videos where you're getting tons and tons and tons of views, and then all of a sudden you can go and you'll be posting videos and they're not really getting anything. So there is a big risk in the aspect of you never know what your income's going to be, and you never know if the markets are going to turn south, and so on and so forth. To do YouTube full-time could be kind of scary, to say the least. Would I do it? I would probably do it if I had enough of a following, but at this current point in time, I don't have nowhere near the following, and everything came up, but oh, that is lit. It's just, why does it seem so dim? I got a bad connection right here. That's what the problem is. So let's pop that back up. That is not a good connection at all. But I can definitely say it would be a dream come true to be able to do YouTube full time. And that just does not want to make a good connection there. I'm wondering if I have enough wire stripped on this particular little dude. Let's try it one more time. There we go. That's better. So we have that. We can put those guys there. I can put this guy down. Put that back. Put that back. And there, we got 2 of these done today now. So that's 2 sections of runway. And I'm hoping you guys can see that. Sean Bauer says, will your lights along the runway blink in succession? Runway lights do not blink, so no. Samuel Holmes says, I agree. Paul W. says, I agree. AMA POV says, the channel offers something unique. I think it's easily a more interesting and informative channel than many others. Paul was saying if he paid the internet bill. That is another problem I do have with Paul bringing that up. My internet actually sucks. And yes, I can do a camera swap. Hold on one second. And I'm going to turn the lights so you guys can see it as well. 1 second. I did this with the last one I did. That way you guys can kind of see what I actually did and how it looks. Which, mind you, I do intend on doing an actual video, and that LED I don't think is pointed quite correctly. Because that's just not... We try and get that out of the hole a little better. There. There, that's better. That looks more bright now. But anyway, this is actually the 4th section of runway I've got now. My center lines in this particular section are obviously all white, and then my edge lights are white as well. No, there is no runway lights that blink in any way, shape, or form. The only runway lights that blink are your lead-in lights, and those are the lights that are on the orange poles. So no, your runway lights do not blink at all. Lego Mike says, who's playing pinball in the background? Nobody. Sean Bauer says, looks very cool, and thank you. Andrew Moppet says, I agree. And yes, AMA POV, that's because I do work at an airport. That is part of the reason why I do have such a big airport in my Lego city, because I am responsible for the airfield lighting, power distribution, and building lighting for the 2 different airports that I do take care of. And Sean Bauer says, looks very cool. And yes, like I said, I'm very happy with this. I really, really, really think this is turning out very well. I do have 2 more sections I need to do. Let me go click my lights back on so I can kind of see. and I am going on almost 2 hours now. And yes, they're very bright. And again, for anybody that's interested, the video that I just made about LED lighting, I did put a link for these in there. These are only 50 cents a piece. You get them in a pack of 20. They're $10 for 20 of these LEDs that I'm using. And it is these tiny little guys right here. And they are extremely bright. These are a 3 volt LED. So I'm using a 120 ohm resistor in order to step the voltage down, because my power supply, which you can see it is a variable power supply, and just I can even show you what it is because I tried to do it just using the power supply, but as you can see, the I don't know if you can tell on camera or not, the lights are pulsing, and that's why I bumped the voltage up to 5, because for whatever reason at 3 volts the lights pulse too much. So I bumped the power supply up to 5, and then I step it back down with a 120 ohm resistor, and it gives me the effect that I have. And thank you so much, Andrew. He says it looks absolutely great. Let me scoot that back down just a little bit over there. But yes, they are very bright. Paul W. says the runway looks a little out of level. Hate to be the pilot landing. What do you mean? Oh, jeez. I'm going to start taking a whip and smacking you. Brick Sergeant gives me the thumbs up. Anyway, though, guys, like I was going to say, I have been streaming for almost 2 hours straight, and I need a break. So with that being said, I'm going to do what I like to do at the end of every stream, and I'm going to roll that beautiful bean footage. And with that beautiful bean footage, I want to take a very quick minute to thank the people that have supported the stream. And the people that have supported the stream today with Super Chats were John Evans and Kyle Dunbar. So thank you, both of you guys, John Evans and Kyle Dunbar, for your donations. As for donations like you is what keeps me going and keeps me doing what I'm doing. So again, thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. I will be trying to do another live stream here later on tonight. It'll probably be around 8 p.m. is what I'm looking at trying to do. So you can look for that. And I will also be trying to post another video in between this live stream and the next live stream. So I hope to see you guys in the next one if I didn't catch you in this one. But anyway, as always, thank you for coming to Bevins Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below. And hopefully we'll see you next time on Bevins Bricks. Take care, everybody.